career in the military. He's also a band leader at a high school, just telling us about his day-to-day operations of being in a band and being in the military. Now I want to flip it and talk about his music career. So Dan, give us an overview of, I guess, how long you've been in music, what some of your inspirations are, and some of your goals.
Well, I've actually been in music since as far as I can remember. My dad was a Baptist preacher, so I grew up singing in the church choir, that kind of thing. And as I got older, I wanted to learn how to start playing instruments. So fourth grade, I started learning how to play the trumpet and the tuba and stuff. And then when I got into high school, they had an opening in their jazz band, and that's when I was exposed to the bass guitar. And being I played tuba, it's the same register, it's bass clef music, so it was easy for me to make all I had to learn was the finger part. And then because I like playing music so much, that's when I auditioned for the Army band and went into the military band.
That probably gave you a lot of great experience, eh?
Hmm.
Like doing that, look at it. Probably, obviously, it's very structured. Like you guys said, you practice every day, and you got to be good enough to stay on a team. So I guess when you left the military, it really did it help you? Give you a lot of structure? Give you a lot of discipline, and a lot of experience? Tell us about that. How you felt about that?
Oh yeah, you get a lot of discipline being in the military because if you get in trouble, it's a lot bigger strike against you than a civilian market. But yeah, I liked music so much that I decided when I got out to go ahead and go back and get my bachelor's of music degree. And so I did that, luckily using the VA as or the my GI Bill stuff, and it helped me pay for my college. And I was able to get my degree, and then I applied down here in Del Rio, and I've been here for going on 19 years now as a
Wow.
band director.
And I know you have quite the library of songs. Like, how many songs have you written? And tell our viewers the genre too. I know the genre, but I want you to share it with our people.
It's more of a country southern rock type style that I'm breaking into right now, and I've got 7 singles online at the moment, and I'm working on my eighth.
And then tell us the latest single. It was the one on your bicycle.
That was the '80s child, and that's kind of an homage to the Gen X people like me that we grew up doing everything outside, and now we look at our kids nowadays; they don't even want to get out of their room because they're tied to all their technology.
Yeah, I know. So sad, isn't it? So tell us, where do you get your inspirations? And can you tell us a little bit of song formula without giving away the recipe?
As far as the John, I'm sorry, say it again.
So tell me your inspiration and a little bit of your song formula without giving away the recipe.
Basically, I just write what I feel. A lot of the songs are basically all the songs I've got out there are kind of from a personal standpoint. Especially the new one that I'm working on now is going to be it's a basically I'm dedicating it to my sons and being a
Yeah.
father, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping to get in the studio by this month or next month
And
and start recording it.
what is your recipe for putting the pen to the paper at the start? Like, how do you, without giving it away, how do you create that first line?
I basically kind of think of an idea first, a theme, and then I start kind of playing around with words. I'm a rhyme scheme person. I try to make sure the words mean and rhyme at the same time. I don't make up words like a lot of genres do nowadays to make something rhyme. And then I'll start kind of getting an idea of how I want the melody to sound. So I do both at the same time. I write words and I try to think of the music in my head and how do the words fit into that music idea I have.
So, do you try and write a song around a rhyme, if you will? So you
Right.
found right around it.
Yeah.
Now, when you're writing that song, tell me, um, how many lines would you write before the rhyme comes in? Like, do you have to rhyme on every line, every second line, or every third line? Do you have a formula like that?
Not really a formula. It's just whatever I can do to make the storytelling happen. So
Oh,
I I used to when I was younger, I wanted to be a writer. So I'm kind of drawing all my influences together. Country music, the old country music was all about storytelling,
that's right.
which is what a lot of nowadays country, the pop country, it doesn't have. And so I'm going back to my storytelling days of trying to think of a theme, get it out there, but just set it to music. That's the way I basically do it.
And a couple of your inspirations?
Uh, well, like the political divide that's in America right now, the first single I wrote, that was my song, what I like to call my bitchin' song.
That's good.
And
That's
so
good.
that was the first one I released 2 years ago called Politically Incorrect. And then
Okay.
one of the other songs I wrote is a dedication to the Border Patrol, because down here
Okay.
on the Mexico border every day I see what they go through. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are blaming them for the mess, but it's really not the guys on the ground's fault. It's the politicians in charge of them. And so that
There
was
you
my
go.
way of kind of dedicating to them. Hey, the people see what's going on. We feel for you. It's not your fault.
Well, that's a heavy issue. That's for sure. That's
Right.
for sure. So why don't we take one more break, and when we come back, we're gonna let people know that Dan's a part of Big Records. Talk a
Mhm.
little bit about Big Records. Mark's a great guy, and I'm gonna people want to get in touch with you, Dan. So stay tuned. You're watching Sweet 303. On the show today we have U.S.